What is up, everyone? It's TyranitarTube, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon video. Now, this is actually the day of the Pokemon Sun and Moon stream, the live stream where they're gonna have a demo in their hand and they're gonna freaking show us some stuff. So, I'm gonna show you guys some of the highlights from the stream, and then we're gonna get into the video. Wait, so these guys got Sun and Moon right there! I'm jealous, dude! He's holding his DS down? You're play. Oh, yo, let me check it out, yo. Oh, you got a Solgaleo, bro? Okay! Oh, it's a Tyrann. I wanted an Alolan. Okay, I'm kidding. That's sick. Giant Tyranitar I'm out. So this is the start of the Battle Royale. You got Haxor. Oh, so these are pseudo-legendaries. It's so freaking intense. The animations are so slow. Look at that bottom screen. It's so... Zeke? Look, there's no room to Mega Evolve. Your Z move takes the spot. He's using some Hyper Jolt. We're dying today. Look at this. It's using its Z move. Ginyu Force! I think it's called like Gigavolt Strike in English. Like, it's so crazy. Bruh! That is like Volt Tackle in slow motion. Killed it. You just killed that Rowlet. It was so sad too. Okay, so now there's only two people left. What happens? They're not looking at each other. They're just kind of just chilling. It's like a tea party. So some of you guys are saying that it was called Gigavolt Havoc and that the move they used was not Gigavolt Havoc. So how many freaking Z moves are there? I love the freaking touched up interface. It looks so cool. Like even the HP bar is just popping up. Oh, welcome back, dudes.
Wer hat denn Lust, die zweite Videobotschaft zu sehen? Hier.
Oh, what the hell? Is this one of the later trailers? What is that? I didn't expect that. Whoa! I didn't expect that, man. Wait, is that a fire dragon? That is amazing. He has his back, his spiky back to you. This guy's gonna get spiky shield. What the hell? Yo! No freaking way, what is that? Bye-bye. Freaking fire dragon, dude. So, of course, the Pokemon that was revealed is Turtonator. It's this tortoise. Look at this. It's the Blast Turtle Pokemon. Its name breaks down into, like, freaking Turtle and then Terminator or something. Or Nominator. It's a turtle that nominates. You gotta love the way it looks in-game because it has its back facing towards you and it looks over its shoulder to see what the hell you're doing. It's like a design you saw in fan games, but it looks a lot like freaking Magmar and Heatmor, freaking Torkoal. It's 6 feet tall and weighs nearly 500 pounds, but it's got the ability Shell Armor. Shell Armor is that ability where you're protected from critical attacks. It's an ability that barely comes in use. It can help you a lot by chance, but it's a pretty neutral ability. I know when you just look at this thing, you get the feeling just as you would from Heatmor and all that. It just feels like a Pokemon you would find and it doesn't evolve into anything, so you just never catch it. I hope it doesn't turn out like that. So because Turtonator lives on volcanoes and feeds on sulfur and just other materials that you'd find near volcanic craters, its shell has this layer of explosive material made up of mostly sulfur. What they're trying to say here is if something strikes the freaking spikes on its back, it's gonna ignite this giant explosion. That's why it's the Blast Turtle Pokemon. This is like an actual blast burn Pokemon. So the explosive blasts triggered through Turtonator's back are released through an orifice located in the middle front of the Pokemon's body. This is Turtonator's weak point. Attacks landing on this stomach will cause a great deal of damage. You know, this freaking description right here, you see how right here it says its only ability is Shell Armor? There's a lot of times they'd put a little slash and they give it a second ability. I don't think this thing's only ability is Shell Armor. This thing has to have another ability that takes advantage of this. Like maybe an ability that allows it to turn around and it would maybe do more damage, but its freaking defense is weaker. So just by turning around, this thing would be like a freaking stance changer. Funny enough, that would actually give Shell Armor a purpose because it would not be switching between its two forms. But anyway, Turtonator can actually learn learn a new move called Shell Trap. So when it uses this move, it goes first and sets a trap on the field, and if Turtonator is hit by a physical attack, it freaking explodes and does more damage to the opponent. It says that, more damage, so it probably calculates how much damage you did to it, and then it like does like 50% more or maybe double. Moves like this sort of exist on a smaller scale, so like Payback, it does 50, but if you hit him first, it does 100. But this is cool. I think Sun and Moon are introducing a lot of more moves on the defensive side. So you had freaking Minior with that ability that made it so if you killed it, it would essentially activate a final gambit before dying. That makes you scared to kill Pokemon. So does Shell Trap. If this thing comes out and you're scared that this thing's gonna set up a Shell Trap, you'd be scared to kill it. You know, the freaking pigmentation, that looks like that's like Tyranitar. It's like a Tyranitar that went down the wrong path. I can't unsee it. Look at the legs. I gotta unsee this. So if you look at it, it's a freaking turtle, but it also reminds you of all those fire type Pokemon, so Magmar and Heatmor. That's because its turtle side is based off of Mata. So that's a turtle, it's like a tropical turtle, lives in tropical regions, but its fire side is based off all that freaking, I don't know, some of you guys called it a freaking Chinese dragon turtle. You guys show me all the time. There's no freaking Chinese dragon turtle. Yeah, see, there is no real word for it. It's that fire breathing look. I said this in the stream. The fire breathers, the way they look like in the Tin Tower with the freaking 3 dogs. You gotta awaken. It looks like they'd use this. But this is just the Pokemon they revealed. They actually had freaking Sun and Moon. 4 freaking copies of Pokemon Sun and Moon. A little demo version where they tried out battle royales, and they finally just showed us raw gameplay of battle royales. We can see the bottom screen. We got to see Z moves and all that, and we got to see, I think, a different Z move. So in that footage, the 2 things they expanded on was battle royales and Z moves. So in battle royales, this is an actual important thing. So if you look on their site, the way they describe battle royales, I'm gonna read it with you. The battle is over at the end of any turn when all of the Pokemon of one trainer have fainted. So what that means is if one trainer loses 3 Pokemon, you're gonna have freaking 3 winners that are just ranked by their stats, so how many Pokemon they have left and stuff. So in the stream they were talking about this. The 4 numbers you see on the screen are not the order, so you're the first trainer and you're the second trainer, so you can figure out who to attack. It's actually the rank. So during the battle, you can see who's technically in the lead. It's like a big race. You want to win the battle royale with the biggest lead. So Popplio there is in first place because it has full HP. For some reason, Rowlet is paralyzed, but because it has a bit more HP than the Pikachu, it's in second place. And the Litten is just too beaten up to be, it's in 4th place. So the point of these battles would be more to just make it higher up. You may not notice it, but it actually adds a lot to the game to just display these rankings, because if someone is in 4th place, when you're choosing your move, you're not going to think about attacking them. You're going to want to attack who's in 1st place or in 2nd place or someone specific. It stops people from teaming up on one person and just kicking them out quickly. Just by putting the rankings there, it matters a lot. When they were doing battle royales, it was actually freaking 4 DSs, so it wasn't no in-game battle royale. But I think it's so possible that there could be a freaking facility where you can do battle royales in the format of like a tournament. So you climb the ranks, and at the top you get some sort of reward. Like the fact that they've implemented this and it's already got the stadium of like this tournament, this might actually be a facility that you can access like halfway through the game. It's like how in Oraz you had to do the contest and then get the Pikachu. There might be a force just like 1 round of battle royaling when you get to the city that has this freaking tournament. I like this concept. I'd like to see that this thing is not just some extra building in the region, but may actually play a role. So maybe the one who leads the battle royale tower is actually like a trial captain, and you gotta actually go through the battle royale to meet him, and you gotta conquer this tournament, get an entirely different feel to climb through the gym and beat him. Or a gym, I should say. It's a challenge. It makes sense. You, on an island challenge, you have to do whatever the trial captain say. So each trial captain can have their own freaking task. But that's all speculation. I think one of the biggest things is the fact that we got to see enough just battle royale footage that we got our doubts clear that battle royales are actually going to be a big thing. But moving on, second is Z moves. So if you guys don't know, Z moves are these super powerful moves that you can only use once per battle. They word it as when a trainer and Pokemon's wishes resonate with each other and they both release their full power together, the result is an explosive force of a Z move. It's very similar to Mega Evolution, and if you look at the footage, for the first time you got to see how it works to use a Z move. It really does take the spot of where the Mega Evolution button would be, and it's this giant 5th move. So take a look at this picture. That's a freaking electric Z stone. You probably get it from that little kid who freaking plays on his Game Boy. He's a trial captain. Give him some respect. So this bracelet probably looks familiar to you. That is exactly the bracelet you're wearing when you start off your adventure, and it doesn't look like there's a crystal there. That's because you gotta add different crystals as you go through the game. So this thing is called a Z ring, this thing is called a Z crystal, and as you get different crystals, you can combine them into different Z rings. The way it works is while you have a Z crystal in your bracelet, your Pokemon has to be holding the same kind of Z crystal themselves. So these really do like replace gym badges. You beat a trial captain, you get a Z crystal, and you can use it to connect with your Pokemon for that attribute. So that really does mean that Z crystals aren't just like one of a kind per type. There's many of them. Maybe they all link back to one major Z crystal per type, but so far there should be many. So there are two clever conditions for being able to use Z moves. The first is your Pokemon needs to know a move of the same type as the Z crystal. They do this so that you don't use your Z move as a fifth move. So say you had an Arcanine with like a Z move that did 200 damage, you still need to have a fire move. You can't leave your Z move as your only fire move. If it's an Arcanine, it has to know some sort of fire attack in order to use its Grand Fire attack. But the second condition, as you know, is that it has to be holding that Z crystal as their item. So it almost gives the idea that Z crystals are like broader versions of Mega Stones, because your Arcanine would really be holding a fire Z crystal as its held item. It acts just like Mega Evolution. When you think of this, maybe there freaking is no Mega Evolution in this game, in the sense that you can awaken Mega Evolution using your Z crystal. But that is everything that they talked about in this video. But I gotta say this, in X and Y and Auraz days, they would have like Mega Audino, for example, as their announcement for this entire month. And then they'd give Audino to Korokoro to reveal, they'd give it to freaking Gamescom to reveal in the stream, they'd give the same announcement to everyone. And I know I said this about Korokoro, but they're really trying for everything Pokemon related to just be spreading different announcements. So because these announcements aren't overlapping and this was revealed in freaking Germany before anywhere else, it makes the ride up to the game a lot more fun, and there's so many freaking things that are out there that I don't even know and that you may not even know. So anyways guys, let me know what you think about your Z Crystal and Z moves, as well as this new Pokemon. As a Fire Dragon type, it's actually a unique Pokemon because the first Fire Dragon type was Reshiram, the second one was Mega Charizard X, and the third one is this guy, who's a more common Pokemon. It's gonna be cool to run into that typing more. There's a lot of different typings that we're gonna start running into, so be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and as always guys, keep playing, keep laughing, and keep believing. See you in the next video. Peace.